We've been following the storyline of Batman getting married to Catwoman, but that has led to a couple of interesting things, such as Catwoman meeting his ex Talia, Catwoman meeting Wonder Woman, and also meeting Superman, and now it's time for Batman to meet, Catwoman's friends. So today we're going to cover the storyline in which Batman fights against the Justice League under the control of Poison Ivy, as she now controls the world. Enjoy. It was late night in Wayne Manor when Bruce suddenly awakens from his sleep in a panic. He starts to look around and sees Selina sleeping next to him, and she quietly says, "I'm Selina." He jumps up out of bed and begins to run down the hallway when he runs into Alfred, and Alfred stares for a moment and then asks, "Sir, if I may, where are your clothes?" Bruce begins to feel weak in his legs and he falls to his knees, and as he does, Alfred reaches down asking if he can help him back up. But without answering, Bruce springs up, sucker punching Alfred and knocking him out. As Alfred's hand falls over, he loosens the grip on a batarang that he was carrying. Bruce stumbles as he gets up, trying to head to the Batcave, and as he sits down, Selina walks in asking, "What's the matter?" He doesn't answer her, and she wraps her arms around him, telling him, "Relax. Just let me hold you." As she leans in for a kiss, Bruce reaches down to grab a small injection gun. She quickly pulls back to swipe at his neck. But before she can reach him, Bruce takes the gun and he injects Selina with an unknown formula before injecting himself with the same thing. The moment he does, he begins to feel his body go weak and he passes out. But as he does that, a voice begins to tell Bruce that they love him. They love him so much. Not only that person, but everyone across the globe. They love him too. But the voice that is coming out of everyone is Poison Ivy's. The next morning, Bruce begins to wake up in bed, and as he looks around, he sees both Selina and him are in their costumes, Batman and Catwoman. She wakes up asking what's going on, and he tells her, "She's here." A few moments later, Ivy, using and speaking through Alfred, walks in to tell Bruce a story. Several years ago, Joker decided that he could beat Superman. To do so, he took a number of hostages and he hid them around the city, placing each of them in lead boxes. The Joker figured that since Superman couldn't use his X-ray vision to see through lead, he would have the upper hand. So, as Superman scanned the city, he saw what he could not see. Thus, he located each and every one of the hostages. Bruce gets up out of his bed, ready to knock Alfred out. And as he goes to take a swing, there's a crack of lightning, and Barry Allen, the Flash, runs in the path, forcing Bruce to punch him instead. Ivy asks, "Would you like to try again? I'm sure there's a few more Flashes available." Bruce asks, "What does she want?" And over in the park, Ivy says, "Oh, you misunderstand. Every person holding a gun, every army awaiting their orders, every superhero and supervillain. I control them all. They all love me, and I can feel and understand each of them, just as I control the green. So what do I want? No. I don't want anything. I already have everything." Bruce tells her that there's something that she doesn't have, and that's me. Ivy says, "Well, yes. However, using Alfred's codes and Cyborg's abilities, I took a look inside of the Bat computer. I saw the formula, your cure, and I must say it's very impressive. The use of such a rare Franciscan daffodil extract. Clever. Though I'm sure that you're unaware that the cure can only defend against what happened. It cannot reverse it. So as far as I know, there's no formula that can fix this. There are 7.6 billion people under my control, and through them, the world will be made a better place. It's true, I don't control you. Two little superheroes hiding in lead boxes." Alfred begins to leave the room, and Ivy finishes stating, "It's a shame that you won't get to be a part of this, but that's not a concern." Selina then asks, "Does she mean everyone? But how?" Bruce tells her, "I don't know." Selina then asks, "If she controls the League and our families, how are we supposed to fight?" Bruce takes a moment to think and he tells Selina, I don't know." A few days go by and Bruce and Selina watch the news, and the reporters talk about how they have yet another day of peace and prosperity thanks to Ivy. No wars are going on, children are eating, the earth is slowly beginning to heal itself, and of course, we are all happy in love. With Ivy. Bruce groans and tells her, "All right, let's go." He drives the Batmobile down the road, and Selina asks, "Isn't it nice that she lets us out?" And then repeats herself, only a little louder, "Isn't it nice that she lets us out?" Up above them, Superman is listening in, and Bruce just thinks to himself. A short while later, the two stop by Batburger to get something to eat, and Selina says, "We could have Ivy as your best man, and she would obviously be my maid of honor as well. We could also do something with flowers. Perhaps Ivy could help us. I was never a big fan of large weddings, so how about we just invite Ivy?" After the two leave, Bruce drives them to the suburbs, with Superman closely following. As they get out, Bruce leans over to Selina and whispers, "I have to tell you something that I don't want her to hear, and that is that I love you." Selina whispers back, "That is very interesting. I'll try and keep it between us." "There's also something else. Superman knows when not to listen in." As Superman is focusing on listening in, Bruce places his fingers to his mouth and he lets out a loud whistle. Superman shouts in pain, and Bruce tells her, "See? And Selena says, fine, I was wrong. You can stop Superman with a whistle. The two of them begin to walk up to a house, but before they can walk in, there's a crack of lightning. And Selena says, I'll handle this one. She waits for a few moments and then times her swing back perfectly, hitting Barry, Wally, and the second Wally, stating, there we go. All of the flashes are taken care of. Bruce pushes the door open to the house and he sees an older woman sitting in a chair and he asks, is he here? Through the woman, Ivy tells him, I have a lantern coming. 2 actually, and a Wonder Woman. Oh, and don't forget Gorilla Grodd and his army of gorillas just in case. Bruce says, no, he's not here. And Ivy shouts, I told you to stay in the mansion. I was trying to be nice. A short while later, Bruce and Selena find themselves strung up atop of a building, with Selena stating, you know, the whole bat striking fear in the hearts of villain thing? I'm pretty sure Ivy isn't getting that. And Bruce tells her, yeah. He then turns to the heroes that are floating around them and he says, she's letting them eat. It was on the burgers, tomatoes, lettuce, onion. The whole planet is consuming the green. All of those planets dying. And then there was Johnny Sutres. He has a severe allergy to greens. It's debilitating. The Wayne Foundation has been trying to find him a cure, but he couldn't eat greens. So when we went to his home, you've hidden him from us. That's what you didn't want me to see. Where's Johnny? Where did you hang the boy? And Ivy yells through Superman, telling him, shut up! We were on the brink of destruction, fires, hurricanes, starvation. The world was trying to kill us before we could kill her. Bruce tells her, that's awfully kind of you. We're all so damn ugly and you turned us into roses and made a beautiful bouquet. Now everyone loves Ivy. With a frustrated shout, Ivy uses Superman to punch square into Batman's head. She then looks at him saying, no. And Selena shouts, Bat? A short while later, in Ivy's overgrown park, Selena asks, is he dead? And Ivy looks at a flower stating, he was. I brought him back. Magic, science, surgery. There's someone for everything these days. Selena asks, if that's so, what am I used for? And Ivy doesn't respond right away. Ivy says that she's going to be her maid of honor. They may as well become friends. Selena says that they were friends before all of this, and now? And Ivy says, I had to do this. There's rot in the garden and I will cleave it out. What is good will grow again. Selena says, what is all this talk about rot? You're really starting to sound like Freeze. I know you and whatever this is, it's not you. And Ivy shouts, you think you know me? You don't know a damn thing about me. I've done something. I've killed right here in this spot. I should have stopped. Someone should have stopped me. I was so scared of the Joker and the Riddler. I thought I had control, but the truth is I was never in control. Now though, I'm afraid. Everyone is in my control. I can be good. I can be redeemed. And no one can stop me. Elsewhere, a voice tells Bruce that he's recovering nicely. And Bruce says, you needed speed, so you used Flash's speed. You needed strength, so you used Superman's strength. You needed help to recover someone with a head injury, so you brought in someone with 4 PhDs in neurology. And after getting hit that hard, after making you hit me that hard, this is exactly what I was expecting. Puddin'. Bruce looks up to see Harley Quinn in a lab coat smiling back. Bruce leans up stating, you have so much, all of the heroes, villains, and weapons. If I want to fight with what little I have, I would lose wars. But the thing is, we both should have learned this in the war of jokes and riddles, is that some wars shouldn't be fought. Back in the park, Ivy tells Selena that she didn't pick a side like the rest of them. She didn't pick Joker or Riddler's side. Selena says, yeah, they asked, and I simply declined. Rather impolitely. Ivy then asks, so you were willing to let the Joker set it all on fire? Or willing to let the Riddler control everything? And Selena tells her no. Any man who wants her in the way those two wanted her, well, she's forever unwilling. Ivy says, okay, so I was weak, a poor little girl lured into a trap. I killed 5 men, wore Riddler's signet, fought for the Riddler. Just how young was I? Selena tells her too young, and Ivy snaps back, I don't understand anything. Selena says that they have both seen some terrible things. Maybe that's all she understands. Back at the hospital, Bruce tells Ivy that she needs help. They're going to help her. Ivy brushes them off, stating that she is saving the world, and Bruce tells her that she is trying to do good, but doing it in the wrong way. I know you don't want to hurt anyone because you are hurt. She shouts back, asking, what do you know about hurt? The earth is hurt. People are hurt. I am fine. Bruce tells her, you are not fine. You're alone, or you think you're alone. I'm here to tell you that that's not true. There are people that are ready to help. She sighs, telling him, great, fantastic. I'm hurt, I'm alone, and Batman and Catwoman are going to help me. Selena tells her, no, not us. And Bruce says, Harley. Ivy asks what's he even talking about. I am Harley, I am everyone. And Bruce tells her, yeah, you're mostly everybody, but she is Harley, because Harley isn't most everyone. Everyone else, you could have lived with them losing everything, but not Harley. Ivy begins to say, Harley and her, you don't know anything about us. And Selena asks Ivy, what's wrong? You seem distracted. Ivy begins to rub her head, stating that she has to run the entire world while dealing with Catwoman and Batman. How could she not be distracted? Bruce then says, everyone else is buried deep inside. but Harley, you left right on the surface. Selena tells Ivy, no, you are supposed to be distracted. That's the plan. And just as Ivy asks, what plan is that? Selena kicks Ivy in the head, knocking her out. She picks up Ivy's body, stating, the bat's gonna have about 14 seconds to wake up Harley. I have 15 seconds to wake up Ivy before the planes start to fall out of the sky. And at those moments, Bruce and Selena try waking up both people that they're talking to, with Bruce begging Harley to snap out of it. After a few seconds, her head begins to bob and she simply says, Puddin'? Ivy begins to wake up asking what happened, and Selena smiles, stating that she's guessing he probably freed Harley. Over at the hospital, Bruce grabs Harley and jumps out the window down to his Batmobile. Once inside, he quickly puts his mask on and tells Harley, I'm going to need you to talk to her. Superman will hear you. Tell Ivy that you want to meet in person. She begins to rub the side of her head and looks over at Batman and says, you? And Batman tells her, yeah. A short while later, with everyone meeting up in the park, Harley, Batman, Catwoman, and Ivy, Harley simply shouts, Batman changed in the car! Batman has a machine to put his pants on in a car! Batman's crazy, and I know crazy. Harley looks at Ivy and asks, how are you doing? And Ivy tells her, I'm fine. I'm saving the world. And Harley says, that's not what I asked. How are you doing? Ivy pauses for a moment and then begins to break down, stating that everyone keeps saying that she's hurt, but Harley hugs Ivy and kisses her on the cheek, telling her, it's okay to be hurt, but I'm here now, so I can hurt with you. Bruce tells Ivy that she needs to release everyone, and Ivy says that she can't. She has to make the world better. And Selena then says that those men aren't coming back. They're dead. You killed them. They died in the park. They stay in the park. But you're the one who left the park. Bruce asks, what do you mean in the park? Wait, Ivy didn't kill any men in the park. Riddler did. I examined those bodies. They had bullet wounds that traced back to the Riddler's gun. Based on the blood flow, they had been hanging for at least 30 minutes. Ivy begins to say, but Riddler said that I was the one. And Bruce stopped her, telling her, he lied. That's what villains do, they lie. Ivy shakes her head, stating that she has to save the world. It's broken. Harley kneels down, telling her that she knows she will, but today, why don't they just save Ivy, okay? Ivy begins to cry, grabbing Harley, stating that he lied to her. And later that night, as Bruce and Selena get ready for bed, Bruce's phone goes off and he says that Superman said that Ivy arrived safely at Sanctuary. They're gonna do what they can for her. Selena asks if she's going to be okay, and Bruce tells her that 7.6 billion people were in her head. When she let them all go, everything that she's been through, I'm not sure. She climbs on top of Bruce, asking, what about us? After all we've been through and are going to go through. Bruce tells her, well, we've already had the entire world against us, and here we are. Selena then asks, are we gonna be okay? And Bruce tells her, yeah, Cat, we're gonna be fine. And there you have it. Now, I did find this interesting because I love the character of Poison Ivy when done properly and given proper personality. I think she's a really strong character with a lot of history and a lot of interesting powers, and so I really enjoyed this. I'm going to say it right now, though. Tom King, as much as I love your writing, Catwoman could not kick the Flashes. That is not a thing. That should not have happened. I don't care. I like it. It made for a good story. It abides by my argument that a good story should supersede any form of stupid power scaling. But even I'm mad about this one. Anyway, guys, if you want to keep up on the Batman and Catwoman marriage, then go ahead and subscribe to our channel because we will be keeping up with those storylines. You can also follow us for information on Justice League No Justice, the Avengers storyline, and various other things. And you can also find us over on Patreon for only $1, showing your support for all the stuff we do. You get access to about 4 podcasts that are exclusively over there talking about everything from the comic books to the TV shows, and you also get access to behind-the-scenes footage and videos early. Either way, thank you for just watching and subscribing, and I'll see you next time right here.